I'm spitting the bars while shooting for the stars, landing on Mars while I'm exploring the galaxy. You better handle your business before I handle your manners, or else I clean up your... Yes, dude. Yeah, man. If it sounds like my voice is a little bit worn out, that's because I may have just recorded, tried to record a 30-minute episode of a podcast. And I did a podcast, okay? I spoke my piece in my comedic presence for over 30 minutes, and I put it out into the void, and saved, dude. It's all gone. It just happened. Nothing was recorded. I just sat here in the basement. I just sat in this freaking closet. No camera, no mic, and just went, yeah. And only come to find, it's all gone. It just happened, dude. And it was beautiful. It was glorious. And it's not replicatable. Dictionary check, okay? I can't replicate what just happened. It was just perfect. It was golden, man. I'm not talking about that faux gold that you get out of a vending machine for like $1. You wear it once in the pool and it turns green. I'm talking about that real gold, man. I'm talking about that gold that a miner spends his life and years just hacking away trying to find just a little bit of it. It was all gold, man. The kind of stuff a rapper puts around his neck. I'm talking about you consolidate it, you put it down into a bar, you may hide it underground because we don't know what's going to happen to the currency in the future, but it was gold, baby. It was gold, and I loved it, and I don't have it. It's just gone. Is that not the suckiest and roughest and toughest pill to swallow? Yes, it is, guys, but we're here nonetheless. And I don't know what we're going to talk about because I don't really feel like talking about the same thing I just did all over again. So we're just going to let this thing be whatever it's going to be. And by the way, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris. I'm a little bit bummed out, but I'm trying to find the funnies, you know. But some things just happen. Some things just suck, dude. And this is a little lesson for me, you know, always finding that comedy, something comedic about the suck fest of life, right? Some people got an angel. Some people got a devil. But if you've listened to this podcast, you know we've got a dumpster wizard conjuring up trash at every corner and every turn, just sending down garbage in our life, and we have to fight back, okay? He won this battle, but we will win the war, okay? It'll happen. So yeah, it sucks, but some things are just lost to the sands of time. And I don't know why I said it like this, but it sounds like I'm about to rhyme. Cause something happens to me when I step into the booth that my conversation just starts to flow from the tooth. Now I've never been to the dentist, but I'm never getting a cavity. But I stay in my zone just embracing depravity. I'm spitting the bars while shooting for the stars, landing on Mars while I'm exploring the galaxy. You better handle your business before I handle your manners, or else I clean up your life song, garbage wizard, like I'm your lyrical janitor. What just happened? Did that just freaking happen, man? If I could drop this mic, but it's anchored into the wall, I would. I mean, I wouldn't because it's expensive and I bought it and it's mine. But you get the point. That was a glorious moment, okay? We'll take that, dumpster wizard, okay? I know I didn't really say his name right in the middle of the song, but that's all right. The point still gets across. And you know what? We wouldn't have had that moment if he didn't shut down the first episode of the podcast. Now, sure, I would have liked to have it anyway, but, you know, details. We're starting off the show. Guys, what is up? I'm here. And let's have some fun. I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about, but I am just happy to have you guys here with me. But yeah, so I am officially back. I'm back in the booth. I'm back at the homestead, right? I've been watching dogs for like 2 weeks. Watched my aunts for a week and my brothers for a week and someone else's for a week. Just the freaking 5 dogs, weeks and weeks, and just nothing but canines, man. It feels good to really just get back in your own bed. It feels good to sleep again, dude. I talked about this on the last episode that I could not sleep for the life of me because the freaking Lord was shining his flashlight through the windows. Hey, time to get up. And you're like, dude, what the frick? You know, because that's just what the sun is. You're like, circadian rhythm, stars, moon, sun, let's get up. And everyone's just like, you know, I don't care about your freaking fireball in the sky, God. Check this out. Blanket. And he shielded it. So yeah, he's trying to wake us up. He has a freaking rhythm, a schedule, and we don't always obey and follow that. But you know, that's probably why he made the rooster, because he's like, you know, if you guys aren't gonna take the visual aid that I'm giving you, that this is the sign that you need to be waking up and starting your day. Well, how about this? How about some livestock, a real life alarm clock, an alarm cock, if you will. I'm proud of that one, dude. That was just off the dome. That one feels good. But yeah, the Lord's doing everything he can to wake us up, you know. We are fighting back against the literal sun. Good for I don't know, I'm clapping, dude. We beat the sun. But yeah, good thing I don't live on a farm. But anyways, I was struggling a lot to sleep there, and my aunt was like, hey, just sleep upstairs, right? I made the bed, everything fresh and clean, and she did. It was like a freaking glorious paradise, and it was so soft. There was no sun, curtains galore. It was beautiful. The only issue with that, however, is that the dogs are not allowed in the bed. That's the one rule. Do not let these dogs on the bed. They have a routine. You give the dog a bone, you put them away behind these little crates and stuff, and I did that. Everything was feeling fine. I was finally feeling like I was gonna sleep there. And I getting all nestled up, and I'm cozy, and these dogs are doing their thing, and I shut the lights off, and immediately they start whining and crying, and I'm like, wait, you said they don't do anything, right? They're like, you put them in here, they will not make a sound for freaking 8 or 9 hours. I'm like, all right, cool. About 5 minutes in, and they're crying, they're whining. I'm like, guys, what the frick is going on? I can't just solve one problem and get smacked in the face with another. So they're sitting there, they're wrestling. I'm like, okay, well, maybe just sleep in this corner. So I unlock the little gate, and they go and sleep in the other corner. I begin to fall asleep for about 3 seconds. And these dogs keep jumping on the bed. I'm like, whoa, this is not how this is supposed to go. So now I'm like battling. Like I'm in a freaking Royal Rumble, just kicking.
An opportunity. One hard.
Boom, you know, I'm just like getting these dogs constantly throughout the whole night. I'm kicking them off the bed, pushing them, just get out of here. So I did not sleep a wink because I'm constantly fighting them. And I put them back in the freaking thing, and they whine again. And we keep going back and forth and doing this little thing. And I should have just embraced the freaking Lord's flashlight, man. Or I just shouldn't have stayed up so late. I don't know what the lesson is there, but it sucked, and I couldn't sleep anywhere in that house. So it feels good to sleep in my own bed. It feels good to get some sleep again. Yeah, and I talked about the the body wash and stuff before. Like they got it for me, and I've been taking showers galore, man, trying to impress the relatives. And something I've been thinking about, dude, is no matter how much of a good deed you want to believe it is, if someone buys you body wash, shampoo, conditioner, you can't help but think, you know, why? You know, what is it about me that made you feel like you had to get that for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I want to believe this was just a true gift from the heart, but there will always be some semblance of thought of, do I smell bad? You know, what is the issue? What sparked this thing we're doing here? Like, if I came up to you and just gave you a toothbrush outright, like, here's a toothbrush, here's some Crest toothpaste, not sponsored, just take this and do what you will. Part of you has to go, it's about my breath, isn't it? You know, like some party like, is me? Is it my problem? Are you just being nice? Or is there something wrong with me? So I have to think about that, no matter how much I love the nice fact that I got these glorious little body washes and I use them, but I have to, am I the problem? I'm showering enough, I thought. I'm a bathing boy. So yeah, it's a nice little fun thing that was going on there, but yeah. It is all over. We are back in the homestead, man. And that is it, dude. I don't have any more notes. I don't have anything exciting to talk about, but we will see where this podcast goes, dude. What is going on? What's happening? And listen, here's the thing, dude. You guys come to this show not because you are looking for the glorious topics of conversation like worldly disasters and trauma and politics and you know what may have you, okay? Other people cover it a lot better than I do. Or will ever try. But, you know, I just talk. You come here, why? You want to hear my luxurious voice, I suppose, or you just want to hear the interesting thoughts, or you just want to laugh at the fact that I always have technical difficulties, and I will not stand for it, man. In fact, we will keep on sitting for it. But yeah, so I will just take you on a little journey of a day in my life, of how my brain works. So I just went to the grocery store, and I saw a freaking ambulance. And this made me laugh, okay? That's all it takes to brighten my freaking day up, okay? I saw an ambulance, and I just started laughing because this is not something you normally see just like pulled over. An ambulance is a work vehicle, okay? So that means they are on the clock. It's not a pizza delivery truck where you just slap the Papa John's thing on, you take it off, and you go back home and go about your day. This is a working utility. and they pulled over to go to Meyer. And part of my brain just wants to keep wandering and think about what could be happening. Like, people are calling like, hey, I'm having trouble breathing. What's going on? Can you guys get here as fast as possible? Like, okay, yeah, just 1 second. They got a good Lunchables deal. You get 10 for $10. It's pretty cool. 1 second. So it's just the fact that these guys are the first responders. But they're not the first responders right now. They are the what? Worst responders. Yeah, they're not there. So it just starts making me laugh, and I'm having fun just seeing it, okay? This is the beauty of the observation, the cogs, things turning, the imagination. And that's how I just deal with things. That's how I have my own fun. I've always make my own fun, and that's not because I grew up in some sort of old age. People are like, kids these days don't use their imagination with their television and their phones and video. Like, no, dude, I grew up with TV. I grew up with the Nintendo, okay? I had lots of fun. I had lots of things to do, but I just have an overactive imagination. Now, does that make it hard to fall asleep sometimes? Sure. But have I ever been bored? No, dude. If you told me to just sit down on a bench in the middle of nowhere and said, sit on your hands and mind your own business, now try to have some fun, I would sit there and my brain would just start to narrate my life with my mouth connected, like, as Tristan sits there on a bench, lonely, he begins to find peace and tranquility in all that surrounds him. He tries to mind his own business, but he thinks, he ponders upon a specific idea. Perhaps he has no business at all. If he has no business, whose business should he be minding? Shall I mind his business? And I'll just have my own fun, and I'll think, and that's how my brain goes. So I'm sitting in the parking lot. I see this ambulance, and I'm having my own fun. And I walk by him. I'm thinking, maybe, what if someone's in there, right? I'm just thinking, right? I think maybe someone's in the back of it, and like, we're supposed to go into the hospital. I gotta get there. I can't breathe. My arms got, like whatever it may be. And these guys are just having the time of their life because they're like, there's a deal at Meyer, the grocery store. When will this ever happen again? So I needed to know more, right? I was going into the store anyway, but I specifically went in there to look for them. And I find them, we're at the checkout, and I kid you not, these paramedics, dude, they have 5 bags full of nothing but corn on the cob, dude. Okay, and now talk about a corn stalk, okay? I'm following these guys. Oh, shucks. Buds, dude. So anyways, I see this, and I'm like, yeah, dude, are you kidding me? This is great because it only adds more to my imagination, my story, this little fairy tale that I'm creating in my brain. I'm like, yes, this just got way more interesting. So now my brain gets to wander even further. What could be happening? Why? Why do they have so much corn? Why did they stop at the freaking grocery store? What is going on? And that's just who I am as a person. If you want to really understand my essence and my imagination and everything that kind of turns, I'm a why guy. Okay, you have why people, and you have how people. Now, I fall into the why category, but what separates me from other why folk is that while they may have questions, they are searching for logical explanations, facts, knowledge, information, okay? That is not what I'm searching. I'm not looking for a Google search, okay? And you can't Google search why doesn't ambulance need a bunch of corn. But I'm not looking for actual information. That's not the kind of why person I am. I'm the kind of person that likes to say, hey, what's going on here? And create my own conclusion because I like my own personal closure more than anything you could ever offer me. And now I know they say curiosity called and killed the cat. Hello? Meow? Yeah, you're dead to me. So that's kind of who I am, and don't worry because the cat has 9 lives, and you better believe I'm wasting them all asking questions. So I'm into it, and I'm thinking, and I like to find my own closure, dude. So I just begin to think about however many explanations there may be. Maybe they were trying to convert these things into vegetable oil, right? And then running the thing like that gas, like a green gas. Maybe they were gonna have a corn fight. Maybe they're super Ohioan, like this is our state crop, and they're just having a good time. I like to think that the guy in the back of the ambulance had a sudden craving for corn, like a madman, an animal. This is the one that I decided on, was that he was riding to the hospital, and he's on his way there, and he's like, He passes some corn. I could go for some corn on the cob right now. Oh, oh yeah, hey, and he talks up, and then he just goes and lies and says that he has this new condition where he has to consume an ear of corn, like, immediately. And then they're like, okay, well, I mean, we don't know what to do, so we pull over, we gotta give him some corn. And this guy is just full of baloney, but he's enjoying himself. And that makes me happy, that brings me peace. So that's kind of the person I am. These are the questions I ask. Why? But why, man? And I'll keep on making more as time goes on. I'm never just always settled in a certain thing, but that's just what I do. Why? It's important to ask why, guys. You know, the same with the freaking Easter Bunny. There might be reasons. There might be actual history behind what the Easter Bunny is. Why is he doing this? But I like to believe and think, and I truly stick to this idea, that the bunny was around during the prehistoric age. And bunnies, they burrow. It was a huge bunny, got underground, comet, boom, nothing mattered. You know, he was still laying eggs, and it just so happened that Skittles are prehistoric candy. And so it has candy, and you know, they're still dangerous and freaky, and I do not trust the Easter Bunny at all. But, you know, I come up with my own conclusions. One that I was recently just thinking about is I heard someone talking about the Gift of Gab. And I just think about why. Why? You know, Gift of Gab is this ability to speak in conversational flow, you know. And people say I have that a lot because I talk. But I was thinking, why, dude? You have to ask why. Why is there a Gift of Gab? Where is this freaking stone? Who was the miner that was in freaking Ireland just hacking away, just sucking on rocks? He's like, and he starts speaking like, whoa, what just happened? This guy kissed all the stones, but this one specifically gave him, he was shy before, but now we can't shut him up. It's the Gift of Gab. He kissed the Blarney Stone. You know, like, what is this? And why is it, it's like the most difficult thing, so I have to imagine, this is my own personal result that I came to, was that in Ireland, there were a lot, okay, this is all BS, okay? So I don't know the actual history. I'm not preaching this as facts, but this is my truth. I'm only speaking my truth, okay? Hey, speak your truth, boy. This is mine. This is my piece. In Ireland, okay, hundreds of years ago, they had a talking problem. It was kind of like Footloose, but for like people that were talking too much. Like, hey, could you shut up there, boy? You know, you're talking too much there. And they were like, no, I'm not going to stop talking. Just bear with me. And they were like, you know what, it's actually been outlawed. Yeah, we've outlawed a certain word count that you can be saying here in Ireland, okay? So if you want to be speaking over 200 words per day, you have to travel into the mountains. Yes. And they're like, wait, what? Like, yeah, you're going to the mountains, and you have to, if you want to talk, you have to kiss a rock. And like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah. They make up stories because they're trying to get all these people that talk a lot. They're trying to get them out, and they shut them down. And like, you kiss a certain stone in there. And they're like, oh, well, what's the stone called then? I'll trot out the mountains if I want to talk. I'll go and kiss this rock. Tell me what this rock is called. And he's like, it's the Blarney Stone, you know, because how made up does that sound? The Blarney Stone, yeah, sure. Go kiss the Blarney Stone, then you can talk all you want. And that's how that happened, dude. That's where the Gift of Gab came from, as far as I'm concerned, dude. They were having a trouble in Ireland, and they went out and they got all these freaking gabbers, these freaking chitter-chatters. They sent him up into the mountains, like, yeah, and also, it's going to be a very specific rock. You're going to have to lean backwards over a freaking banister and just kiss this freaking rock. Why, dude? Why did that happen? Where did this come from? I love that, and that is my final theory on that one. I love it so much, it makes me happy, dude. So, guys, always remember to ask why. It's a good time, okay? Don't do how. Nobody cares about how. I don't need to know how pizza tastes, okay? I need to know why it tastes so good. How is it made? Doesn't matter. I don't need to know how shower curtains work. I want to know why we didn't decide to pull them from the top like a freaking school teacher at the front of a classroom. You know, wouldn't that be cool? I don't need to know how a Roomba was made, okay? I'm looking for why it's made. Why was it made? I'm not looking for how the Roomba goes about its day. I'm looking for the reason why it's not square. Because interesting thoughts is the details and the ball. These are some of my interesting thoughts. Wow! I want to know why a Roomba's not square so it can get a freaking corner. Why is it round? That's one of my favorite thoughts in my little joy bank that I want to make a little laughter withdrawals. I think about a round Roomba trying to sweep a corner, and that brings me so much joy. Why are the Roombas not square, okay? Ask why, guys. So yeah, I'm a why guy, dude. Love the letter. Um, yeah. So what else do I say why to, dude? I've been saying why. Dude, why is there so much roadkill? Okay, this is one of those things. If you ask this to somebody, they might say, "Oh, it's overpopulation in the woods and the wildlife, and people are traveling out there, and there's just too much of them, so they keep wandering over trying to find." And I don't care about that. Okay, I don't want a logical explanation. Save that.
Save it for a mammal that cares.
Okay, save your little glasses, your science, throw it out the window. I want to believe that there are a lot of thrill-seeking animals out there, okay? I want to see a raccoon with a little cape. He's like riding a little tiny motorcycle. He's like, I'll do it. I'll get across the street. And, poor sucker gets hit. Or maybe there was a little school teaching, right? They have a little animal school, wildlife school, and the teacher who's usually supposed to teach road safety was sick this day. Or he stayed up too late watching the Super Bowl or something. Listen, he was creeping through the windows. This is where my brain goes. He stayed up late, so they call in a sub, and the sub, he was new to this, so he didn't teach the proper rules, and they don't look both ways, they don't like one, and they get hit, and it's sad. Or maybe the wildlife, they're going through a little bit of a Grand Depression, and it's suicide, and it sucks, and it's sad, dude. I swear, some of the animals are trying to get hit. Have you ever seen a squirrel go back? You're like trying to dodge. You're like, hey, bud, wait, stop. And you hit it, and of course I get mad air off it. No! And I'm just, it sucks, man. It's hard, and there's been so much roadkill over. If you look, just drive, okay? It's horrible. There was 4 dead animals in one lane, and a bird just walking. A bird can fly across, okay? We all know this, but he's walking across to be like, listen, it's not that hard, man. But yeah, there's just so much of it. Speaking of the birds, dude, the birds are insane because, yes, they can just fly across. But for whatever reason, they swoop down as in just be like, hey, go for it, man. I got the wings. I'm okay. And I'm seeing dead birds, too, because they're getting clipped. These little thrill seekers, these little birds, man, little Evel Knievel, they're getting slapped. And I don't even know what to call that because, they're flying. Is it really even roadkill at that point or just, turbulence? What was that? Or an interception? But it's horrible, man. I feel bad for these animals because they're just getting clapped. But yeah, I want to know why. And I make up my own stories, and these are the things that I think about. I don't need to know the true reason. Save it, okay? Save it for the classroom. That's not what this is. That's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about being as ridiculous as possible. Why it's made, dude. I want to know why people made certain things, and then I don't want to know the actual why. I want to make up my own BS, okay? I guess that's the essence of me, BS. Bologna sandwich. I just have fun, and I like to think about certain things in a ridiculous manner as far and as long as possible. And that's why I never get bored, because everything you just heard, as silly as it may sound, that I am the silliest of geese, is that it's just fun. It's just fun to think about, So next time you come to a question, a crossroad, you get stuck somewhere and you're thinking, how? Or why? And you want to pull your phone out to Google it, don't, okay? Use the old noggin and think, what would Tristan think of? And think of the most grandiose, ridiculous explanation possible, and then you'll be having fun, dude. So that's what's going on with me, man. And, I don't know if there's anything else I really have to talk about. I could ponder anything for a while. But I think that's all I actually have to talk about immediately. Still really bummed about the podcast that was deleted before. But you know what? If you want to say why, it's just because they knew that this one was going to be even more gold. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. This has been Full Circus. And I am out of breath. My voice is worn. And that's that. We've recorded 2 podcast episodes today. Guys, I love you so much. Have a blessed evening, morning, afternoon, place that you're doing. Look out for the roadkill, okay? If they're depressed, if they're trying to kill themselves, do not let them. Stand by them, okay? We gotta fight for these guys, okay? They're crazy. They're these little crazy devils. But you gotta make sure you take care of business. And if you see someone buying a lot of corn, why? Why are you doing that? All right, guys, I love you. Peace. I'm out. This has been Full Circus. Why am I leaving now? Think about it. Come up with dumb explanations. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.